Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing Week 3 in the NFL preseason. We're talking right now with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Original Kappa, a guy whose career as a professional handicapper goes all the way back to the 80s, doing this successfully for 30 years. And you've been handicapping and betting NFL preseason all that time, right, Joe?
That's true. I've been handicapping and betting before that, but as far as full-time, since 1988, and it's a long story, but, you know, I, as a kid, used to love to handicap sports. I've talked about it a couple times before, and I did a video, but I've been handicapping as a hobby literally since I was like 12.
All right, Joe. Well, Tennessee at Kansas City is what we're looking at right now, and Kansas City, a pretty big preseason favorite here. 5, 5.5, or 6 are all market-wide numbers. Market uncertain about this one. Totals 42.5 or 43, and you know, we know what's going on with Tennessee, right? Marcus Mariota is getting his feet wet, learning the NFL game, making mistakes, but Tennessee is sticking with him. He's going to be the starter in Week 1. Mettenberg, the backup, though, has been playing great. So, you know, Mariota, a lot of talent, inexperienced, mistake-prone. Mettenberger, as a backup, will come in and play great. KC, you know, they're probably going to give Jamal Charles a few reps here, but they know what they got with him. I'm guessing that he actually won't play that much. You know, Chase Daniel as the backup has been playing great. Alex Smith as the starter has not been playing that well, so who knows how much each of those guys is going to play and how they'll do. The Chiefs are also having problems on the offensive line. Well, both teams are having issues on the offensive line. My sense is that with all the uncertainty in this game, both at quarterback and the offensive line for both teams, I'm thinking, why not take Tennessee plus all those points?
Well, here is why. I think this is a major factor, and again, kind of the difference that even though, you know, I've said that Week 3 is where you got to use, you know, maybe about 40% of regular season handicapping techniques and 60% of the preseason techniques. Kansas City has 2 extra days rest to prepare for this. The Tits played on Sunday night. Now, again, if this is a regular season, look, you just got to deal with the short week. But on the preseason, you can have the luxury of saying, you know what? I don't want to get too crazy on this short week. And, you know, I do think that the Tennessee, they are going to be having Delaney Walker and Sammy Hill are 2 guys that are going to be making their debuts. Delaney Walker had 63 catches. So I can see where you're coming from, but still, Kansas City with 2 extra days rest and playing at home, I think that's a pretty damn big advantage in the preseason. You know, we see it happens in the smaller conferences and college.
You think so? But let me just ask you. Let me just stop you there for a second, Joe. But the thing is that in the regular season, you know, the starters by definition play every game. In the preseason, you know, by definition, people are playing like a quarter or a half. So you know, the lack of rest probably it doesn't impact them as much as it would for people playing a full game, right?
True, but I also think you'll find out the coaches will tell you that for them, actually preparing, game planning for Week 3 is similar to the regular season, and you can see where, you know, I don't know whether or not the Tennessee staff is going to be pulling all-nighters to you know, reaccumulate, to readjust for a short week in the preseason. So in this, the week that you do prepare for it, like being the regular season, I don't know if the Titans are going to do that much game planning and putting in a bunch of extra hours to adjust to the short week.
Well, certainly this line has gotten bet up. I think I saw that it opened at around 4.5, and that was a little bit surprised to me that it was that big preseason game. Now it's up to 5, 5.5, or 6, so it's getting bet that way for a reason. The total's 42.5 or 43, and both Tennessee games have gone over so far, and KC's Week 1 game went way over. Do you want to give us a pick here, Joe Duffy?
Yeah, I will go with Kansas City because I think in this situation they're at a big advantage.
Really? Well, -5 is still one of the available market-wide numbers. That's a little bit surprising to me. They are having issues on the offensive line, but you're not concerned about laying that big number. And Alex Smith hasn't played that well either as a starter.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, Alex Smith is, I'm sorry to my old college professor, doesn't like those cliches, but he truly is. He is what he is. He's a very solid player. What did he have to prove in the first 2 weeks? Not all that much. So that's not of huge concern to me. But I do think this is a pretty big, you know, that one of my fellow handicappers loves to use that word, and he gets me to use it too much. A big intangible, the fact that Kansas City has a lot more time to prepare, and I just don't think that the Titans staff is going to go too nuts having their players, have to make all these adjustments on a short week.
Fair enough. Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Going official with KC -5. I'm glad you went official with this game, Joe, because I wouldn't have wanted to make a pick on this one. I don't know what I would have done, but I would have felt very nervous making any kind of pick on this game. Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. His final picks can be found there every day. And, of course, last minute for the NFL preseason. And for the purposes of our record keeping in these videos, KC -5 is Joe's pick. Thanks so much, Joe.